Hey guys, what's up? It's me, gabbytheenailtech, and I am here to show you all how I did these beautiful red bottom stiletto nails. They're just so gorgeous, so I had to record a tutorial. Alright guys, so for this first part, I'm just showing you all how I clean the cuticle area. That's my first step in the prep process. And I think it's one of the most important steps in making sure that you don't have any lifting with your clients. I'm using a cuticle drill bit that I purchased from Amazon. I'm not sure which company it comes from specifically, so when you look it up, just look up cuticle drill bit. So I'm just going ahead and going around on a low speed setting, and I'm cleaning the dead skin off of her nails. She has foil on her thumb because I was soaking off a previous full set that I did. I did these really beautiful tapered square ombre nails on her a couple weeks ago. So for whatever reason, the thumbs were taking like forever to soak off. So while I was prepping the nails, I just wrapped them up in foil and a cotton ball and let them soak off a little bit longer. Alright guys, so once I'm done with the cuticle process, I normally just inspect the cuticle area to see if I need to clip off any excess skin. With her, I didn't really need to. So I just went ahead and I clipped down her natural nail. Normally I'll ask my clients if they want me to clip their nails down before I do it. But she was okay with it. And then I'm just going in with my medium grit sanding band from Carlash that I also got off of Amazon. I'm so sorry, y'all. These were the only good clips that I had recorded. Some of the footage is going to be out of frame because of the way I had my phone angled. So I really just want to apologize. I'm new to this video making thing. So yeah, be patient with me, please. But yeah, so I went ahead and just sanded her nails with the sanding band, just taking the shine off of the nails. And then I'm gonna go ahead and glue on the tips. These tips I got off of Amazon. I don't know which company specifically I got them from because I ordered them such a long time ago. But if you go on Amazon and look up the Stiletto pre-shaped nails or nail tips, you'll see like a whole bunch of options. So I went ahead and just glued them on with my KDS glue that I got from my local nail supply. Sorry about the clock in the background, y'all. So yeah, I glue the tips on, but before I do that, I make sure I measure the tip. You want to make sure that the tip is sitting from sidewall to sidewall. You don't want to make your tips too small. Sometimes if the tip doesn't fit on perfectly, I'll go up like a size bigger and then I'll just kind of clip it down to fit the nail better. But you want to make sure that at the very least it's fitting from sidewall to sidewall. So I'm just going in and making sure that all of her tips are glued on securely. And then I turn her hand around just to make sure that all of the tips are sitting straight and none of them are crooked or just going off to the side. And then in this next part, what I'm doing is I'm just clipping down the tips to the desired length. And what I have in my hand is my like little handmade tip measurer. So basically it's just a nail form and I stuck it onto a random piece of cardboard that I had. And I'll just take it and I'll put it underneath the tip and I'll clip it with my scissors. I want to say I got these scissors from Amazon too, and I think they're called like sewing scissors or something like that. But yeah, I just go ahead and I measure them. For me, I prefer this method because I'm able to essentially make all the nail tips the same length and uniform. And also it's good for your clients because they're able to see about how long their nails are going to be. So here in this clip, I'm just going in and I'm refiling the nail to make it the stiletto shape. I'm using an 8080 nail file, 8080 grit nail file that I got off of Amazon. I normally order car lash nail files, but for whatever reason, I always get these, so they still work the same, so yeah. And I sped this clip up because this is like a very, very, very tedious process trying to get them back to the stiletto shape. But here you just see me going in and filing from side to side. You want to make sure that you're not spending too much time on one area. I know it appears that I spent a lot of time on the right side, but that's only because sometimes like on the right hand side, it's not as like straight as the left hand side, so I do have to spend a little bit more time on that side. But when you're making any shape like a stiletto or a coffin or even an almond, you want to make sure that you're not spending too much time on one side because it will look uneven. And I even all like contort my hand a little bit, like I'll hold the nail file going like at an angle downward just to make sure like I get that straight line. But yeah, I'm just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with my nail file just to get that nice, crisp, sharp stiletto shape. Y'all, I'm super sorry. I'm just apologizing from now if I like mess up my words. I'm really new to this recording thing. And I was gonna write a script, but honestly, I don't have the energy to write a script, so I'm really just going off the top of my head. And I've made a couple mental notes while I was editing the video. So yeah, it's also super late. It's like 1 in the morning, and I'm really tired, but I really want to get this video done. So yeah. All right, in this next part, I'm taking my sanding band and I'm blending the tip in. And I'm going down just to kind of go over the rest of the tip. And then what I do just to help make the shape like more sharp and more crisp is I just take my sanding band and I go down the side like once or twice on each side. And I think that really helps me to have that like good, nice, sharp stiletto shape. So I also do that when I'm making like my coffin or when I'm making like my tapered square. I'll just take like my sanding band and I'll go down like once or twice just to make sure it's nice and straight. All right, now in this part, this is where I'm actually making the red bottom. So I'm taking my gel polish and I'm just polishing the tip. I try to make sure that it doesn't go on the actual nail because I have to prep the nail and I just don't want the gel polish and the prepped liquids that I use to mix together. So I just try to make sure it stays on the tip, but it covers the tip. I'm using Striking Red by D&D DC. That's kind of like my go-to color when I'm doing like the red bottom nails. So it could be any like red color, but I try to go for a bright red. And I did 2 coats of the red and then I went over it with my white gel polish from Nailed by Nia. Is it Nia or Naya? I'm not too sure how to say her name. I think it's Naya. So Nailed by Naya. From her Prism Paints collection, which I really love using. And then once I'm done painting the tip, I just put it in my Kiara Sky gel lamp for 30 seconds to cure. And I also just make sure that I wipe the sides of the tip off. I don't know, it's just a habit that I've like developed, but just to make sure it's not bulky on the sides. All right, y'all. So I wanted to ask you guys, do y'all ever have issues with like your thumbs curing? Because for whatever reason, when I put my client's hand in the gel lamp, it doesn't dry all the way, and that frustrates the hell out of me. So please comment down below and let me know if you have any tips on preventing this from happening. Anyway, in this part, I'm just taking my buffer. This is an 80/80 buffer that I got from my local nail supply. And I'm just going over the part of the tip that I painted and kind of just buffing it out a little bit, making it a little bit rough so the acrylic adheres to it. And here you see I'm just going back over the thumbs because both of them did not cure properly. Ugh, that's so annoying. All right, now here in this next part, I am just prepping the nails. And that's my client being silly. She said, period, you finna see these red bottom nails. All right, so I use, for my prep, I use the Valentino. I use the Valentino Dehydrator, the Valentino Super Bond, and the Protein Bond by Young Nails. For me, that works. I don't really have complaints about retention issues. My clients' nails will stay on for 3 weeks to a month, maybe more if they allow it. So that's what works for me. I know some people don't like the Valentino system, but I like it. It works for me. So yeah. And y'all, don't be stingy. Make sure you cover that entire nail with your bond, with your dehydrator. You want to make sure your nails are very well prepped. Very well prepped. So you don't have any complaints about retention. Alright guys, so in this next step, I'm going to be showing you all my acrylic application. I'm using 3 different acrylic powders for this look because on my client's ring finger, she wanted an ombre. So I'm using the Nut White powder from Clawley, the Clawley shop. It's one of my favorite white powders to use to ombre. So I'm using that as like my white base for my ombre. And I just go down with my acrylic brush. This is the not polished acrylic brush in a size 14. I just recently started using it. I just upsized my brushes from a 12 to a 14. It was kind of a scary jump, but I like it. It's pretty good. So I'm just using that and I'm taking it to place my bead. I try to use like 2 to 3 beads per nail, and then you'll see me kind of go in and fix, you know, any of my mistakes with smaller beads. But yeah, like you'll see here, I'm gonna go over with another white bead of acrylic, or acrylic of blah blah blah. Bead of white acrylic to make sure I cover over the gel polish that I used on the tip. The monomer that I'm using is from Kiara Sky. And yeah. For the nude, I'm using Nude Panther by Not Polish. That is one of my favorite nudes. I have a lot of nudes from Valentino that I love to use. My favorites from Valentino are Perfect Nude and Glamorous Nude. But I really like Nude Panther because it's more on the brownish side, whereas Valentino's nude powders are more on the light pinkish brownish side. So for my clients that want more of a brown nude, I always use Nude Panther on them. So here you see me doing the ombre. I place my white bead on. I make sure that the top of the white bead is thin. And then I place my nude bead on top of that line. I try to make sure that that bead is drier than any other bead that I place on. And then I kind of just let it sit there for a little bit, let it marinate for a little, and then I'll go down and I'll kind of just wipe it down very gently, very lightly for it to blend. You want to make sure you blend out that line so it's not super harsh. I didn't get to explain this because of course I was rambling on, but when I get to the bottom of my tip for the stiletto, I just take my nails and I kind of like wipe it down on the sides so that I can get that excess acrylic off and it still kind of like maintains its stiletto shape. And then also you'll see me like lift my client's hand up, and when I do that, you're not able to see because of course it's going off camera. But I'm first checking underneath the nail to make sure that no acrylic is like caked up underneath the nail. Sometimes if you have like a pretty big bead and some of the excess acrylic goes under the nail, it'll like build up under there and you'll have to go back in with a cuticle nipper and clip it off. But because these are red bottom nails and the bottom of the nails are so important, you just want to make sure that while that acrylic is still wet, you just go under there and check it and make sure that you get that excess acrylic off so that you're still able to see the red. I also will move my client's finger from side to side to make sure that the acrylic application is even and to make sure I have my apex and just to make sure that the acrylic was applied properly. So you're gonna see me move my client's hand around or fingers around quite a bit just to make sure that no excess acrylic is getting stuck to the bottom and to make sure that that acrylic application is bomb.com. So I think I explained everything in this process. If I see anything that I need to explain, of course I'll come back on. But I'm just gonna kind of let the music play and let you guys watch my acrylic application. I lied. So one last thing I forgot to add. You guys are not going to see this because unfortunately it is off camera, but with the ombre, I've made sure that of course I capped it in clear so that when I go back in with my drill, we don't lose the ombre. So I just used my clear from Young Nails to cap the ombre. And then I'm using Nude Panther on the rest of the nails. I'm just using that powder straight up. I'm not doing an ombre or anything. So you're just going to see me applying the Nude Panther acrylic on the rest of the 4 nails on this hand. I'm only showing y'all my application on one hand. And this is going to be in real time. I'm not speeding it up just for the sake of time for the video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this part and then I will come back on later. Enjoy the music, y'all. So as we're wrapping up the acrylic application portion of this video, I wanted to ask you all, what is the shortest length you're willing to do for stiletto nails? Like for me, the shortest I will go, with the exception of braider nails, is medium. And sometimes I feel like medium is pushing it, but that's like the shortest I'm willing to go. I don't do short stilettos unless, again, you're getting braider nails and it's only going to be like on one or two of your fingers. But yeah, I just personally think that short stilettos are super ugly and they look like dog paws. So I always like try to steer my clients away from getting short stilettos. And I also cannot stand short coffin. I feel like coffin belongs on medium or long. To be quite honest with y'all, I think the only shape that looks good with short lengths is square. Like, I love doing short square nails, but other than that, even with almonds, like, depending on the person, I don't think they look good. Like, they look really bulky when you make them short. So that's just my opinion though. So let me know. I keep saying comment down below, but I want this to be interactive. So let me know, like, what's the shortest you'll go on a stiletto or a coffin or an almond. And if you agree with me, or if you disagree, you can also explain why you disagree. So yeah, so we're gonna finish out the acrylic application and then we're gonna get to the drilling portion soon. So one thing I'm going to add with the acrylic application that you have to bear in mind when you're doing red bottom nails is that you're going to have to really like add layers of acrylic on top of your tip to cover up the red bottom color. It's a very like fine line between making the nail bulky and making the nail thick enough to ensure that it covers up that color. So I just want you all to bear that in mind when you're doing the red bottom nails. All right, so now in this portion I am going in with my nail file again, and what I'm doing in this part is I'm basically separating the skin from any like excess acrylic that may have gone down in that little like crevice of the free edge. And so I just take my nail file and I like go ahead and separate that skin from that acrylic, and I take it and I kind of just go in and file. I try to just file at an angle, and I don't do it for too long just because I don't want to cut up my client's skin. So this is just super important again for retention and making sure that your acrylic is laid onto the nail and the tip only. It's not getting on the skin. All right, you guys, so here comes the most relaxing part of the video. Low key, watching like nail drilling videos are so satisfying to watch. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm alone in this. But I'm going around and basically I am just sealing the cuticle area and debulking my nail and just making sure that my acrylic is nice and smooth and the application just looks good all throughout the nail. So this is my 5-in-1 drill bit from Pana. I finally remember the brand that I purchased from. I also got this from Amazon, so I really love this drill bit. It took me a while to get used to it because if you are not careful, you will slice and dice your client's finger. So I really had to like learn how to use this drill bit. It's a fine drill bit and I'm using it on 5,000 RPMs or a level 5. That's just the number that shows up on my nail drill. So what you see me doing is first I'm just going around my client's cuticle a few times, very slowly, very carefully, because again, you want to make sure you seal that cuticle area, but you also want to make sure you are not cutting your client. So I just go in and then I kind of just work my way down to debulk the nail and make sure it's nice and smooth. Making sure that I take care of my apex area, making sure that I thin down as I get further down the tip. And you'll see me kind of just go along the cuticle area again and again and again a few times just to make sure it's nice and sealed in. That is to me like one of the most crucial, critical steps in making sure that your nails are lasting, making sure that you have good retention on your nails. If that cuticle area is not sealed, your clients will experience lifting and it will cause their nails to pop off. So you really want to make sure that you're sealing that cuticle area. You also want to make sure it's sealed so that no water goes underneath when they're taking showers or washing their hands or washing dishes or, you know, putting their hands in water, so that it doesn't breed any waterborne fungal infections. So just make sure you're being careful. This process probably takes me, like with both hands, like a good 15-20 minutes, because I just really want to like take care of that cuticle area. So yeah, but peep the application, y'all. Like the application was so smooth. So yeah, I really love when my application comes out smooth. Like it makes me so happy, and it always like takes away some of the work that you have to do when you're having to file. Y'all, if you are a beginner, I know I say y'all, take a shot every time I say y'all. But if you are a beginner nail tech, let me just give you guys, see what I did there? Let me just give you guys a piece of advice. When it comes down to buying a nail drill, I know everyone is super tempted to buy the most expensive nail drill, the Kiara Sky nail drill, you know, the nail drill that costs $200. But let me tell you guys something. Those expensive nail drills that we're spending like $200, $300 on, those break so easily, y'all. I done been through like, at this point, like 2 or 3 expensive behind nail drills, because after like a few months they just stop working. And even other nail techs that I talk to, they'll say like, yeah, I have this nail drill, it cost me $150, it cost me $200, and it doesn't even work. This nail drill right here, not to brag on it, but it cost me like $40 or $50, and so far it's been working pretty well, and I've had it for like quite some time now. And I even bought a second one from the same company and this same version basically. So I say all this to say, don't be too hasty to spend a bag on a nail drill, because a lot of times you'll be wasting your money. I have bought like this $200 nail drill back in February for my birthday, and like last month, or maybe earlier this month, like the first or the second week of this month, that shit stopped working. Pardon my language, but it stopped working like altogether. And I'm like, I have this broken $200 piece of garbage that I can't even like really get fixed. So for my beginner nail techs, I know we want to drop a bag on like the products that we use, but really just make sure you do your research and don't feel pressured to buy these expensive behind nail drills. So that's just my word of advice to y'all. And I just inserted an extra clip of me drilling the other hand just for y'all to see exactly what I do. This hand was like majority off camera, so this was the only like good part that I could find. Alright, you guys, so now in this part, I'm just taking my nail file and I'm going back in and reshaping the nail just to make sure it's nice and sharp and giving, well, stiletto. So I just go in and I file the sides. I don't do too much because I don't want to throw off the shape, you know, that much. I just basically want to resharpen it because, you know, sometimes the acrylic will make it get like bulky and everything towards the ends. And then I'm just going with my file under the bottom of the nails just to get off any excess acrylic, and just making sure that I file that away. So I'm going to be doing that for all of the nails. I wanted to add one more part. So I know when you're applying the acrylic and you're first starting out with your red bottom nail, you're going to see a lot of the red peeking out mainly on the sides of the nail. Do not worry about that part. Once you get to filing and using your gel and everything, that part is going to, like, all that color is going to go away. So don't like trip too much. Don't feel like you need to keep building and building and building with acrylic, because once you file it, that excess color is going to go away. So just a little note. Once I am done filing the nails, I take my 80/80 grit buffer that again I got from my local nail supply. I also think you can get these from Amazon, or I'm pretty sure your local nail supply carries these, but I just go in and I buff each of the nail. I take my buffer and I move it from side to side, and then I'll kind of just very slowly like just go around the nail and make sure like around the cuticle area and on the sides are nice and buffed. Make sure you fully buff each and every nail. It makes your gel application go on smoothly. It just makes the nails look good, and it gives it like a nice finished look before you polish. And then a complimentary service that I give my clients is I do like a sugar scrub on them. So this is a coconut mint sugar scrub that I got off of Amazon. As you gather, I get a lot of my stuff from Amazon and my local beauty supply store. But it's really cool because when you wash it off, it turns into like soap. So it's really nice. I want to say this is from Body Elements, but I'm not too sure of the name. I'll probably just list like all of my products that I use in this video in the description box, so y'all know exactly where I got them from. But yeah, so I just basically take the scrub and I massage their hands with them just to, give them a nice smooth finish with their hands. And then I give them a nail brush out of my Barbicide jar, and they go to the bathroom and scrub around their cuticles. All right, Alright, you guys, so we are finally getting towards the end of the video. Yay! Insert hand clapping right here. Alright, you guys, so I'm just taking my alcohol and I'm spraying each of the nails. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I forget to do this part, but I'm trying to remember to do it. But I just take my alcohol and I spray it on each nail, and then I take a lint-free wipe and I wipe the alcohol off. Y'all, get those damn lint-free nail wipes. They are going to change your life because they changed my life. And now I'm going to be just adding some rhinestones. So these rhinestones I got from Amazon. I don't really like using these rhinestones because they're plastic, and y'all, I am spoiled by these Serenity and Austrian glass rhinestones. I'm not gonna say the name because I'm not trying to get sued or anything. But I am so spoiled. Like, I love using them. I will literally spend a bag on these rhinestones. Like, I love them. And let me tell y'all something. When you compare the two, when you compare the rhinestones that you get from Amazon versus these like rhinestones that you get from Blue Street Crystals or, you know, wherever, you definitely see the difference. But my client, you know, she just wanted the Amazon rhinestones, so I went ahead and used them. They are an option for my clients, so if they decide to use them, you know, we just gonna make them look good. And then I also have this super UV Rhinestone Gel that I bought from Nail Supply Glamour. I've been on this quest to find the best rhinestone adhesives. So far, I have used IBD, Lord, what's that girl's name? Zule. Zule's Bling Glue. I've used Valentino, expensive as $30 rhinestone gel that doesn't last and is like halfway full when you order it anyway. And I've used this, so I'm trying to see which one like keeps your rhinestones on for the longest. And as of right now, it's looking like the Zule's Bling Gel Glue, or Bling Glue, it's not gel, is like the best option. But I heard really good things about this, so I bought, it was like a buy one get one deal, so I bought one and I got an extra one, and it was like $10. So we'll see how long the rhinestones stay on. But basically, I did like a curved rhinestone design. And to be quite honest, my client, like, she wanted me to add more, but I've been telling a lot of my clients, because I like to be honest with them, like, less is more. Like, don't make the nail look ugly, or like, you know, just don't do too much with the nail. Don't take away from the essence of the nail, the shape of the nail. Like, don't take away from that by adding too much. Like, I'm a very simplistic person, or I'm a very just like, let's not do too much. Let's just keep it like, let's just keep this concept and let's not add too much more to it. So I talked her out of adding more rhinestones because I was like, girl, we are not about to, you know, we're not about to mess this up. So yeah. So I'm just taking my wax pen and I'm just carefully applying each rhinestone. I use like the smaller rhinestones towards the end and towards the beginning of the pattern, and then I use like 3 big rhinestones in the middle. And then I just cured it in the lamp for about 30 seconds. One thing I really like about this rhinestone gel that I'm using is I like the applicator because it's not super messy. You kind of just place it on where it needs to go, and then I just use the tip, as you can see, to kind of spread it out a little bit more if I need to. So yeah. Alright, and then here I'm just using my D&D DC top gel coat to top coat my nails. I would say this is one of my favorite top coats to use. I also like using the Valentino top coat. I know I talk a lot of like mess about their Rhinestone Gel, but I actually really like their brand. I really like their top coat, and I also like Not Polish's Gloss It top coat. So these are like my top three. So I went ahead and just put top coat on the rest of the nails. I didn't add anything else to the other nails because, again, I think the red bottom, the stiletto, the ombre, the rhinestones, like I think that was enough for what we were trying to go for. So yeah. Also, you're gonna see me just wipe the sides of the nail after I apply the gel top coat, because sometimes the gel polish can make the sides of the nail bulky and we want to make sure they're nice and crisp. So anytime I apply gel polish or a gel top coat, I always just kind of swipe the sides to make sure they're not bulky. And then last but certainly not least, I'm using my Unicorn Cupcake Cuticle Oil from the Nail Cakery. It's one of my favorite cuticle oils. It smells so delicious. And I just basically drop it on each finger, and then I go around and wipe it around the cuticle area of the finger. And I, wipe it up a little bit just to give them a little shine. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sitting through this video. I truly appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you want more nail tutorial videos. I would really appreciate your support and your love. And you can follow me on IG at gabbytheenailtech. That's GABBYTHEE. Nail Tech, y'all know how to spell that, with an underscore at the end. And then you can also follow me on my TikTok. It's just at gabbytheenailtech, no underscore. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day or night or whenever it is you're watching this. And yeah, enjoy the rest of this cuticle oil application, and I'll see you guys next time.